But first, AITA for refusing to help a Spanish-speaking only customer by you, some shitty username 69. Before you scream, quote unquote, racist, let me give you some backstory. I'm a 22F in retail, and I'm the only one out of all my coworkers that communicate in Spanish. I'm not fluent, but I've learned enough to keep my Spanish-speaking customers happy and comfortable shopping in the store I work in. My coworkers and I are all Latino, families coming from Mexican heritage, and whenever a Spanish-speaking customer comes in, I usually take over and help them. Today, a father and son duo came into the store, and I go up to them to try and greet them. And before I could even say anything, the father stopped me by putting his hand out, says no, and proceeds to wave me away. After that, I left them alone and helped out anyone that needed help. At one point, I heard them trying to ask my coworkers for help, but they don't understand him, and my coworker obviously doesn't understand them. I go around helping out other customers and completely ignored the father-son duo, looking around, not being able to talk to anyone else. They left the store, and although what the father did was totally rude, I can't help but feel I should have just gone back up to them and tried to help. AITA.
It triggers all these moments where I've spoken to people in Spanish before and they act like dicks. You know what I mean? Like if I see someone who can't speak English and I know they look Spanish and I go up to them and I'm like, ¿puedo ayudarte con? Like I just start speaking to them. Sometimes they'll be like, I can speak English. And I'm like, oh my God, you're insulted that I'm trying to help you. Like they take it as an insult.
It's never happened to me because I've never gone up to anyone and tried to speak to them in another language to offer them help. But 2 times someone has asked for help in the random languages that I do speak. And I'm like, oh my God, it's the best feeling ever. But that's all I can offer.
Wait, in the random language you speak? Like what?
Like Italian and French. Yeah.
Oh, they went English, you're saying?
So no, like I could hear them like speaking to each other and then they were like all confused, trying to talk to me in like broken English. And I'm like, nah, I got you, fam. And then they were like all surprised. And I was like, this is great.
You speak a little French and German, huh?
Italian.
Sorry, got confused.
Yeah,
Europe, it's all the same. So, so that's very funny. So you're saying, though, this is a situation where you go into a store, you read that the employee probably speaks Spanish, and then they're kind of butthurt that you sprung for Spanish.
They're like, how dare you think I can't speak English? And I was like, all right,
ouch.
I'm just trying to help you.
I feel like when I was in Italy with my family, though, I would... In certain cities, like I could only speak Italian to people, but then like when I got to Florence or Rome, I would like start trying to order something in Italian and then they would like switch to English and I'm like, okay, wow.
Can you give us a taste of your Italian?
No, because you're going to make fun of me.
I got a little Mamma Mia pepperoni.
Yeah, that's
Thank you. That's 201. Okay. Yeah. So I'm very curious though, because I'm really kind of obsessed before we go to the situation about the Hispanic Spanish thing. It's very funny to me. So do you think, this is just a theory, these Spanish speakers, they see you and you look white. You are technically white. I'm not sure what the rules are. Do you think maybe they're being like, oh, this white lady is trying to speak Spanish. It's like buzz off. It's not your language.
There's like does she think she's better than us kind of thing?
Damn.
When you're just like trying to help them in a situation. It's just, it's happened a few, not all the time. Sometimes they look so happy. They're like, oh, gracias, por favor. And then they'll just go into this like whole spiel and I'm like, slow down, But every once in a while, they're just like,
Damn.
I had one time I had this, I worked as a teller right after college. And, if the check was a certain amount, like a large amount, we had to go to the manager and get it verified. And so I looked at the check and it was huge. And I was like, I'll be right back. I'm just going to, show this to the manager. And she was speaking to one of her friends and she goes, pero que se piensa que no es un cheque de verdad, okay? Like she was saying like, how dare she think
it's fake?
That I'm a good customer. And I'm like, dude, I don't know you. You know what I mean?
Ma'am, I've never seen you before in my life.
And so I was listening and I love it when that happens because they never know I speak Spanish because I'm so tall. And I was like, and I just looked, because they're all short. And I look at her and I was like, señora, oye, eso es mi trabajo, yo tengo que hablar. And she was just like, she was shocked.
I feel like that's like the best thing about looking white and being able to speak fluent Spanish is like you can catch people talking shit about you all the time.
Right.
Trojan Caballo. Thank you. I found
you did it.
I finally found it,
Oh my God.
folks.
It's only been like 30 years.
Well, my take on the situation here is, look, why can't she just loosen up a little bit? And this guy didn't say like, no, fuck you. He just said like, no.
He said no. He put out his hand, said no, and waved her away. That is rude as hell.
Well, maybe he was kind of, you ever walk right into a store and you're flustered by all the retail displays and the music and the scent of perfume and shit all hits you at once.
I just got such an old man vibe from him. Like he's just old in his ways, and he just doesn't want to deal. I don't know if he's an asshole. He's just overwhelmed.
But also, if she's the designated like Spanish helper and the other coworkers are like, these people clearly need help, why would they not like wave her over?
Yeah, you're right. Be like, that's kind of weird.
So maybe they just didn't really need help. I don't know.
What a Handful writes, NTA, you offered help and were rejected. They didn't want your help, so you shouldn't feel obliged to help out.
Okay. I don't know why. I mean, aside from the dismissive hand wave, I don't really know why the other people are necessarily the assholes.
So what is this dismissive hand wave? Like, you think that he's just like, no, I'm not gonna let a woman help me, or he didn't? What if he didn't need help at that time?
I don't know why you got to bring hand gestures into it. You could just be like, no, thank you, or whatever, or just say no and walk away.
So it's kind of curt.
It just seems extra rude. It's like the no, and then he just waved her away.
Yeah,
and I'm like, that's rude. I don't know. I'm just obsessed over this hand wave.
Fender Precision writes, NTA, but sometimes it's nice to just help. Might make the guy rethink whatever he was thinking. Primary candidate says, everyone sucks here. I imagine that the customer may have been trying to say that he didn't need help at the moment, but since he has limited English, he wasn't very tactful about it. Your job is to help customers, and you didn't do that. Retail sucks. People suck. Customers can be terrible, but sometimes you have to grin and bear it.
What is ESH?
Everyone sucks here.
Ha! I love it. Did you make that up, or is that just part of Reddit?
This is all made up by the Reddit overlords.
Yeah, we made none of it up.
Everyone sucks here. I want to use that. I want to text that to someone.
Go for it.
Honestly, do it. They'll be like, what are you talking about? And you'd be like, oh, I can't remember, but it was good at the time.
They haven't sued us yet, so you should be good.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I think there's something to be said about the fact that, like, I don't know, your job is to help customers. I agree with primary candidate about that. And, like, I just don't think what this did, I would construe this as a slight, right?
Yeah. Okay. This is what I think. I don't think that the guy was wrong to refuse help, because, like, sometimes you don't want help. But then also, I think what she did is like just petty compliance. Like, he said no, and she's like, all right, you technically said no, and even though I can see that you're struggling,
right,
you already said no to me. So I don't think she's necessarily wrong either.
Yeah, that was actually the top comment.
I agree.
Oh yeah?
On Reddit.
I didn't even read that.
They need to cross-post this to r/malicious compliance, which is a delicious
there we go. That's
subreddit.
what I meant.
Most of the posts involve an employer being like, hey, send me all the spam emails because I missed a single email. And then the IT guy is like, if I send you all the spam emails, you will receive an amount of emails that will destroy your computer. And they're like, do what I say.
And then you do it. And
it breaks the whole thing. SJ all day, right? It's kind of leaning towards YTA because as a formal retail worker manager, it's like customer service 101 to follow up with customers, even if they reject your help when they walk in, especially because you saw them asking somebody else for help. So this person's kind of the top
asshole?
Dissenter?
No.
Dissenter. There we go. Dissent. I mean, because I hate to take the manager perspective, the bourgeois, to be like, well, be a good worker. But it's kind of like, doesn't it feel good to do your job? Right? A little bit. I mean, look, I was a restaurant waiter for 2 months.
Oh, my God.
No. I served my time, Sarah. Don't mock me.
Oh, my God.
It's so hard to be a waiter. I think I was a restaurant waiter for like a month.
Yeah?
Yeah, and it was like too much.
But do you still have it on your resume like Danny?
No, I don't.
It's the top of my resume. That's the saddest part.
It brings back so many horrible memories of dropping trays. So
yeah.
I took it off.
I wasn't a dropper. I was just a sayer of things that should not be said, like this cup. Because I was
like,
a server.
Don't you have anything to say to me?
Yeah, or like I would just be like, oh, okay. Like, why do you?
I feel like you would be the person who would call people out when they don't give a big enough tip. Did you do that?
Kind of. They were like,
I was right.
I was like, oh, hey, I got a lot of tables tonight because I was really overwhelmed and bad. And I was like, I don't know. I'm sorry about the service in advance. And they're like, well, you're not going to get a very good tip. And I was like, well, it's a comedy club, so it's actually autograt. And they were like, open mouth Pikachu face. What the F?
Love that.
And then I remember one time my friend's parents came in and I kept bringing up their son and like that he was struggling in school or something like wild. I like ruined their whole night and I didn't even know. I was like,
oh my God.
He's smoking pot now, huh?
What club did you work at?
It's called Stand Up Live in Phoenix.
Oh, okay.
Big club. It's like an improv,
gosh.
basically.
Yeah.
SJL Day goes on, also leaning towards NTA because I get how frustrating it is when customers are rude to you when you're just trying to help. But then again, maybe he knew exactly what he was looking for when you first customer serviced him, but wasn't able to find it and needed assistance. So yeah, I'm going to go with YTA purely from a managerial standpoint because you lost a sale for your store. And if I were your manager, I would not be happy. See, I think this is hearkening back to a topic I used to argue about with Anthony a lot. And I'm wondering, Sarah, I don't know that we've gone here, and I want to know what you guys think. Does it feel good to be petty? I don't think it does.
Oh my God, you're talking to the wrong person.
Yeah?
She enjoys it.
I love being petty. It's all I have to live for in this world.
I don't feel like you are very petty, though. I think you preach petty.
I don't get the chance that often is the thing.
What's the pettiest thing you've done this week?
There we go.
I mean, it's only Tuesday.
Well,
so
give us an example.
last week, like in the last 7
give
days.
us a petty example.
I don't know, you guys. I can't.
I don't think you're petty, Sarah. She's not mean at all, Carmen. Like, she's the nicest person I
but
know.
would it bring me joy to be? Oh, I'll tell you.
There we
I don't even
go.
know if this is petty or just fucking mean, but like, backstory, I had this like on and off relationship with this guy for like over a year, and it was like clear that he did not want to date me, but every time I would be like, so what's going on? Like, I can sense that he would like be like, no, that's not it, and like give me the runaround, which was fucking annoying. So anyway, I kind of started to sense, I was like, oh, I haven't heard from him in a while, like weird, I bet he's seeing someone. And then I made like a joke, and he did in fact confirm that he was seeing someone, and I was like, yeah, I figured that was the case, like you could have just told me.
Sure.
And he was like, yeah, I realize that now because I'm telling you. He was like, I'm sorry about that. And I was like, okay, cool, whatever. And then a couple hours go by and I'm like, no, it's not cool. And I was like, you don't have to apologize for not telling me. What you should apologize to me for is like leading me on for over a year when I gave you multiple outs to just tell me the truth. And then I waited on Instagram until he saw it, and then I blocked him everywhere so he couldn't respond. So I guess that's the pettiest thing I've done lately.
No, that doesn't sound petty to me.
Really? Okay.
I mean, you had a reason to be mad. I don't know. Petty to me just sounds like, what is that woman wearing? Like, it's just so superficial.
Interesting. Okay.
I know. I kind of felt like you had a legitimate grievance.
Wow. Thank you, guys.
Like, he gave you the runaround for a year, and you're like,
Yeah.
I got a sweet own. You're going to have one dissatisfying communication with me.
Yeah, I was like on your side.
Wow. Thank you, guys. Okay, cool.
Hashtag not petty. Hashtag Sarah sucks at being mean.
Oh my God. I'll take that. That's fine.
Narcoleptica writes, NTA, your managers / supervisors might feel differently, but F that guy.
Oh my God.
He had his chance and he wrote you off pretty much immediately. If he wants your help, he can come and ask for it himself.
Okay, that's never going to happen in the world of people / customer service. Like, imagine this guy coming back with his tail between his legs being like, actually, I do need your help now. Like, you would never do that.
No,
you would just not get what you came here for.
So I'm curious because I feel like we're not coming out with too many big perspectives here.
I guess I feel like the stakes are so low that I hardly care enough to like issue a verdict.
Oh, but
I don't feel bad for him because he pushed her away.
Yeah.
And then she was just doing her job. I'm kind of on her side.
Was she doing her job, Carmen? I got to push back.
The thing is, like, if you don't go above and beyond, you're still doing your job.
Also,
you're
it's
meeting
annoying.
expectations.
Like, even when a server comes over too many times and asks you if everything's okay, you know, like, I feel like, I don't know.
But you know what I hate? When it's like, you're not ready the second you sit down and then you've lost them forever. And they're like, fuck these people. They're never going to make up their minds. And they never come back. And you're like, no, I'm sorry. I really just needed 2 minutes. It's like the worst.
That.
Yeah, I hate that. So.
I think my least favorite kind of service is the one and done, where they just come up and they're like, "What do you want? What do you want to eat?" And I'm like, if I wanted to just place it all in one order, I would have gone to a fast casual place. Like,
oh my God.
That's part of the premise here. You freaking savage.
Oh my God.
All right, so I think we're all kind of landing at a similar place on this because, yeah, like this kind of sucked that she did this. But you are right, Sarah. She's still doing her job. I don't know that I could call her neglectful. It's not ideal from a managerial perspective.
I want a real asshole. Is there like a really super asshole in here?
Oh,
I think we get some. We got some. Don't worry. This is like
AITA
the warm up.
For refusing to help a Spanish-speaking only customer. I'm going to have to go no assholes here.
Yeah, that's where I was leaning.
NAH.
Yes.
You got it.
Nah.
It sounds like you're concurring,
Nah.
Carmen.
Nah.
So we agree.
I love it.
NAH.